They're off. Day 4 of the Sky Bet Ebor Festival underway with the Group 3 Sky Bet Strensel Stakes, and straight away Jim Crowley drops Ali Anabi from a wide draw out in last place. The blue and white striped cap as Flight Plan at a sedate early gallop leads Grey Jacket up the running rail. Danny Tuthope aboard Flight Plan just ahead of Phantom Flight in the red and white shading second. Check and Challenge Pink Sills tracks the leading pair with Enfjar, the black cap for Jack Mitchell, handy on the outer, and Task Force in the Juddmonte Silks pink cap, white sleeves going up between horses. Royal Dubai in a blue and white jacket races next ahead of the grey Haunted Dream. The nose-banded filly See the Fire is last but one, and Ali Anabi ridden cold at the back of the field by Crowley, a couple of lengths adrift as they reach the crown of the bend and move on round towards halfway in the Sky Bet Strensel. Flight Plan will lead them into the straight over Phantom Flight, Check and Challenge a pink jacket, and then Enfjar, the black cap ahead of Task Force, Royal Dubai, the grey Haunted Dream. See the Fire and Ali Anabi are still weighted with, and the pace is quickening now, moving on down towards the final 3 furlongs. Flight Plan is being asked for more. Phantom Flight in a red and white jacket moving up to challenge. Check and Challenge up the rail. Enfjar pulled away to the left. Black cap is asked to close. Task Force trying to squirrel through between horses. Then Haunted Dream. See the Fire and Ali Anabi have got work on with Royal Dubai. A furlong and a half left to go. Check and Challenge under the fence, joining Phantom Flight in the red and white. Flight Plan between them. Here's See the Fire now in the noseband, beginning to charge home. Finds daylight up the inner. Phantom Flight, Check and Challenge. See the Fire is the final challenger, and See the Fire powers through to win the Sky Bet Strensel. Close for second between Phantom Flight and Check and Challenge, chased in by Task Force, Enfjar and Royal Dubai.
She was brilliant in the Nassau the last day, and her work since has been great. She's been working with older horses that are in good form, and she's been finding it very easy.
And tell me about picking your path.
Well, I wasn't going to sit 3 wide on her. I wanted to get cover and maybe have horses to, when I say go, fill up onto the back of before finding space. And you know, arguably I was fortunate it opened up on the inside, but I thought I could get onto Task Force's back even if it didn't open up. And I was hoping the fact we didn't go very fast, we might get going early-ish in the straight, and I felt that's what happened. It wasn't a really strong pace, I didn't think, Lydia, but we got racing from early in the straight.
And presumably you think she can step back up into Group 1 company?
I'd hope so. I mean, she was very good at the line with her ears pricked, and she quickened past good yardsticks.
She's a filly we've always rated, and you know, I think she just maybe took a couple of runs to really find her feet this year, but the Nassau run was very good, and today I think it was even better.
Do you feel sort of that 10 furlongs is the limit of how far she wants to be stretched, and that 9 suited ideally?
No, I think there's every chance she might stay further in time, but you know, she's scheduled to stay in training next year, so we've got all of next year to experiment with that. But yeah, but we've got to have a think of what we might do next. She obviously loved the fast ground today, but she's got some good form on with giving the ground as well. So you know, lots to look forward to.
But you'd like to race her again this season? I
think she'll probably have one more run this year, but I haven't discussed it with Jack yet. So
they're off for the Sky Bet Melrose, a mile and 3/4 ahead of them. 16 breaking out of the stalls. Tactician, dark green with a yellow cap, has to be bustled up to try and get a position early on. McGillimar with the white sleeves is handy. So too Reaching High, the scarlet sleeves, working over from a high draw. Spaceport in the dark blue and yellow is in the leading cluster with Going Remote in a red and white jacket. And then the Equator in the blue and orange with Table Talk in the yellow and dark blue on his immediate inner, and through the first quarter of a mile they go. McGillimar then leading the Sky Bet Melrose field early on. To Reaching High, who's seeing plenty of daylight, a handy second. The grey Spaceport down on the inner of Going Remote, and then the Equator and Table Talk. Imperial Sovereign in a yellow jacket is caught wide, sitting in midfield. Just ahead of 2 Bossing for Us in the white and green, another of the Greys Master Builder down at the running rail. Dramatic Star, slightly worse than midfield, dark blue with the large yellow spots ahead of Sun God, and then Terrorise in an orange jacket towards the inner. In turn followed through by the stablemates, Tactician and Wild Ways on the light blue and orange. Champagne Prince, yellow sleeves is last but one, and Travan in the dark blue and yellow is just about last of all as they make their way towards halfway, and it's Spaceport now who has a slender lead over McGillimar, sitting a very close second. Going Remote in the red and white is disputing third place with Reaching High. Couple lengths away then, the Equator is wide of Table Talk. Imperial Sovereign is deep of a line of three that has Master Builder up the inner and two Bossyphorus, the green cap between horses. Then Sun God circled by Dramatic Star towards their immediate inside races Terrorise in an orange jacket, in turn followed through by Tactician, Wild Waves, the grey Champagne Prince, and Trevan remains last of all, and they reach the final 5 furlongs of the Sky Bet Melrose. Spaceport narrowly from Magillimar, Reaching High. Going Remote in the red and white is a close fourth. Into the straight, Table Talk is just fifth over the Equator. Then two Bossyphorus, Master Builder, blue and white looking for a way through from Imperial Sovereign. Sun God further back then to Terrorise, Dramatic Star ridden along. Out wide, Tactician and Champagne Prince, the grey is on the move. Trevan is still last. Magillimar stops quickly inside the three. The Equator now, the blue and orange, has moved through to take over. Going Remote on the right, challenging. Away to the left, Sun God with a blue cap has every chance. Then Table Talk, Imperial Sovereign in the yellow. Further back to Wild Ways and Tactician from Master Builder and two Bossyphorus. A furlong and a half to go. The Equator, now Table Talk up the rail, is mounting a strong challenge under Ross Orion, and it is through to take the lead. Table Talk inside the last furlong from the Equator, who fights on. These two dominate the finish. Table Talk doing best, wins the Sky Bet Melrose from the Equator. Close for third between Master Builder and Wild Waves. They were chased in by Sun God and Tactician.
We went a good gallop early and I jumped well, and he just wanted to kind of, first time at this trip, he kind of wanted to get racing with me a small bit early, but it just allowed me to just take him back, and eventually he spat the dummy out. He's a big sort, and I'd imagine he'll get better with age, and when he grows up a small bit, you know, I imagine by the time even we get to the end of the season, he'll know to just jump out and drop it straight away and just travel away. But Tom's lined him up perfect, and he seemed fairly confident with a big run off him. Obviously, the trip is a concern if you're going on his damn side, but on his pedigree, but he got the right attributes to get it, and he got it well.
He's done really well. Only made his racecourse debut in December, and obviously hot house towards the Derby. Not a criticism, it's just what you have to do with an inexperienced horse for the first weekend in June.
Yeah, and you know, probably for him, because he was a bit loud when I won his maiden on him in Chelmsford. It probably did him the world of good. It made, you know, it kind of turned him from a boy into a man, and yeah, I'd imagine he was a horse that benefited going there and just getting the whole thing and kind of small bit putting back into his little box again, to, you know, just to straighten him out more than anything, because he was all there physically, but mentally he wasn't getting the hang of things. But Tom's done an incredible job, and fair play to him and his team.
Is this his optimum trip?
I wouldn't be suggesting going any further just yet. He hit the line strong, didn't do a lot in front, but his runs behind the likes of Insanity of Alan King's and all them horses, they're all, you know, progressing as well, and his form was solid with them, and that run the last day in Ascot I thought was a massive run, and I'd say he'll get better as time goes on.
They're off, confirming they've gone without Lake Forest. He's been withdrawn, taken out of the stalls prior to the Sky Bet City of York Stakes, a £500,000 prize fund, 7 furlongs, 1,400 metres, and the remainder through the first furlong are led by the grey Art Power. To Audience, who sits close up in second in the red, white and blue. The outsider, 5,000 to 1 down at the running rail, is disputing third with Should Have Been a Ring, the other of the greys. And then Vafortino between that pair, and Brige in the pea green silks is just about last of all as they swing on in at a brisk pace here, and it's Art Power who takes them along at a shade over 40 miles an hour to halfway. To Audience, sitting in pole position at the leaders' quarters, 5,000 to 1 against the running rail. Should Have Been a Ring and Vafortino, the blue sleeves, are ridden along, and so too is Brige in rear. And now Audience on the left is nursed up by Rab Havlin to come and have a crack at Art Power. 5,000 to 1 on the right is belying huge odds at the moment. He holds every chance. Brige in the green is coming into it. Audience has got a real fight on here. Should Have Been a Ring, the grey on the left running on, and Brige has now moved through to lead from Audience. Should Have Been a Ring. Art Power, 5,000 to 1, weakens away. Vafortino, the blue sleeves, is staying on. Brige is in front from Should Have Been a Ring, and Vafortino and it's Breeze who runs on willingly to win the Sky Bet City of York. From Fafortino should have been a ring, and Audience only fourth today.
Beforehand, we were kind of basically riding to be third. We kind of thought trying to pick up as much prize money as possible. We thought it would unfold kind of as it would. Art Power would go along, and there would be plenty of pace, and we'd take our time and try and pick up as much as we could. And as Ollie said, we got a lot.
I suppose the whole complexion of the race changed once Lake Forest was taken out. It might have put some others off their game as well, but not her.
Not her, to be fair. He was next door to us, and she didn't bat an eyelid when he nearly came in on top of her. So she obviously has a very good mind.
And that slightly more patient tactics, would you be saying that really didn't suit her?
I think so, and the fact we went it was a true run race. She seemed to travel into it, and when she got in between them, she came alive and quickened away well.
It's not a total surprise. The filly has shown some really good form in the past, and won her Group 3 at the Derby meeting. We put blinkers on her at the Derby meeting, and then we put them on her again at Goodwood, but it was the warmest day of the year, and it was just unbelievable. I mean, and she didn't boil over, but she got too hot. If you know what I mean. Yeah. But she was still on the bridle. Thanks, Kevin. She was still the only one on the bridle at the furlong pole, and she just used too much energy. We ticked her over, and we worked her on Monday, and she worked really well. And I went in and I rang Andrew Black. I said, look, I'm not saying she'll win, but I said, I think we should run her at York for the money. I said, I'm looking at this race and it doesn't scare me, you know. So I'm really, really pleased. And, you know, she's from the family of the Wow Signal. Her mother is a half-sister to the Wow Signal. And being by Star Spangled Banner, she's a three-part sister to the Wow Signal. So what a broodmare prospect she will make.
Absolutely.
I hope I'm alive to train the 2-year-old.
So do I.
Thank you so much. But it's not a total surprise. We felt she could run well. Could she win? But we'll take it.
They're ready. They're off for the Sky Bet Ebor, a mile and 3/4 ahead of them. Wise Eagle with the red jacket was a little bit slow to stride. Sea King drops in towards the rear of the field in the pale green sleeves, and at this stage the likes of Crystal Delight with a pink cap, the grey Iron Lion, Chillingham, Yashin, Queenstown and Relentless Voyager are taking a while to track over, and now 4 of them stay wide through the first quarter mile. Crystal Delight is leading a group of 4 out wide with Yashin, Relentless Voyager in a yellow jacket and Queenstown in the dark blue. 2 of those 4 track over, but still Crystal Delight and Queenstown are racing isolated from the rest of the field, who, closer to the rail, are led by the likes of Ziggy with the black cap and Chillingham in the cheek pieces and Burdett Road right down on the inner. Then the grey Iron Lions of Fairbanks in a white jacket. Still Crystal Delight and Queenstown are wide, but they are beginning to work over to get closer now to the main body of the field, and they've completed more than half a mile in the Sky Bet Ebor, with Nakib just about last of all in the blue and white. Sea King, Wise Eagle and One Smooth Operator immediately in front of him. On the sharp end, however, Crystal Delight, having got across, just about leads them towards halfway to Queenstown in the dark blue and Ziggy in a check jacket racing a very close third, and then Chillingham to Iron Lion the grey, who is wide of Burdett Road, and Fairbanks going up between that pair. Couple lengths to the nose-bounded Forza Orta, followed in turn by Yashin. A further 3 lengths to Magical Zoe, and serious problems back through the field. And one of them has gone wrong, unfortunately, as they made the turn out of the back straight. Up ahead, the pace is being set by Queenstown, who's been left in front. Crystal Delight went wrong on the crown of the turn, and so Queenstown passing the 5. Leading up here to Chillingham and Ziggy, and then Iron Lion and Burdett Road from Forza Orta. Into the straight, Fairbanks in a white jacket from Ziggy and Magical Zoe, and my mate Mozzie and One for the gutter. Relentless Voyager seeking up the running rail to Epic Poet. Further back to Hip Hop de Loire and Nakib, then Cahava out wide. One Smooth Operator and Wise Eagle are well back, and Chillingham is the first to commit as they come inside the 3 in the Sky Bet Ebors. Kicked over 2 lengths clear, being chased by Ziggy. Queenstown has weakened away. Burdett Road in a yellow jacket has a chance. So too One for the gutter in the blue and orange. Here's Magical Zoe down the centre in the black and green running on. Epic Poet and Kehava also closing from the rear. Down to the last furlong. Magical Zoe has powered through to the front here. From One for the Gutter, Kehava the yellow sleeves is running on with Epic Poet, but it's Magical Zoe over 2 lengths clear. The shadows of the post are looming, and it's Magical Zoe who lands the Sky Bet Ebor in tremendous style from Kehava and One for the Gutter. Close fourth, Hip-Hop de Loire late on the scene. Upsides Epic Poet, Sea King was in behind horses.
Oh, she's brilliant. Yeah, I think she's been slightly unlucky, to be honest. In a couple of races, things haven't quite gone right for her. But yeah, look, she's got it all back there, and yeah, delighted, brilliant.
She was feisty and wanted to get on with it in the paddock, wasn't she?
Yeah, she really was, which is slightly unlike her, I thought. But Billy had her nice and settled going to the start, and everything went well. I mean, you're not used to trying to avoid a loose, you know. But anyhow, look. Everything worked really well for us, and he gave her a super ride, and once she got the bit of light, she just, yeah, galloped the line.
Were you giving it some in the straight?
I was near the end. I was near the end, I have to admit. Yeah, I try and keep composed, but yeah, look, it meant a lot. Like, to come and win a race like this is incredible. You know, it's steeped in history, and yeah, never dreamt I'd be winning it, so yeah, delighted.
She's a classy mare, Lydia. You know, she's probably very unlucky not to win in Cheltenham. She had a great run the last day, top when the race wasn't run to suit her in the Group 3 in Fairhouse. She won an easy enough maiden her own down ride, but she was just coming back, and Henry told me to take it as easy as possible. So we thought she had a good profile coming into the race, and she just travelled lovely all the way. She was a bit head up going out. I think it was just the noise of the crowd, but when she got out onto the track and that, she settled lovely, and in the race she was A1 all the way, and I was able to go where I wanted. When I switched out at the top, about 3.5 down, I was just working my way into the race then, and to be fair, when I gave her a kick in the belly just outside the furlong, she picked up well, and she's galloped right up, she passed the line.
Into stall 1, moving in, they stand ready. They're off. The Sky Bet Constantine Stakes, 6 furlongs ahead of them. Al-Bashir on the left, slightly slow to get out of the stalls on this occasion. Out on the right, Strike Red in a sheepskin noseband is up there with stablemate Dare to Hope in the purple. Extreme Right, Comanche Falls in the red headgear. El Monjed is over in the right-hand group in a blue and white jacket with a nosebanded Ballyman Boy in the red cap, and Yahangir is over there with Summergand and 2 Tribes and Cover Up. Down the centre, Apollo 1 in the pink cap is showing bright speed to reinforce an Admiral D in the noseband and the grey Billy Joe and Harry 3. Down on the near side, the left-hand side, Rhythm and Who's in a white jacket is upsides. Oh So Rapido and Dark 30 in the purple and white, and then Coachello and Al-Bashir. They've gone through halfway, 2.5 furlongs to go. Apollo 1 down the centre. Over on the right, Strike Red in the noseband is travelling powerfully, still up there with Dare to Hope, Comanche Falls. Here comes El Monjed in the blue and white, who's bursting through. Summergan now with the spotted sleeves beginning his customary late charge. Strike Red inside the furlong. El Monjed is closing. Cover Up in the royal blue running on, and then Summergan. El Monjed nosing ahead of Strike Red, racing into the shadows, the post, and it's El Monjed who gets home in front from Strike Red. Very close for third between Comanche Falls and 2 Tribes. Cover Up in behind, and Summergan in his race, not disgraced.
Pretty brutal week actually, but we've ended up somehow with 2 winners. I don't know how it's happened, but we had a few nice bullets, so it's been ultimately quite disappointing.
And El Monjed seems to have improved the application of the blinkers. Is that really?
He's a very lazy horse, races lazily, but he won at Windsor and he kept finding, and lots look unlucky, but he did well again today, and I thought a competitive race like that, he had a good draw. That's the other thing we've had wrong this week. We haven't been drawn at all, but he had a good draw, and he got a good ride and he won.
And presumably you were very worried about your jockey, Tom Arquand. Of course, his horse sadly came down in the Ebor. Tom came down, and you must have been worried about it.
Yeah, because Jim rode our horse, Jim Crowley rode ours in the Ebor, and he said he clattered into Tom, he never saw him at all. So the first thing he said, I hope Tom's all right, because I gave him a good beating. And look, he's a very fit young man. He said he was absolutely fine, told everyone he was fine, acted like he was fine, but, you know, we know him quite well now, and I think he was a bit shook up, and I think it's, you know, I don't think he's going to ride again. but it shows his talent and his determination that he actually came out and rode the horse. But you know, he'll be getting a lift home from the races today, I think, definitely.
Ready, set, they're off for the Julia Graves Roses Stakes. 5 furlongs, 1,000 metres ahead of them. Out on the right, Do It Now in the green and yellow, got away well with a nose-banded Tropical Storm. Fuji Mountain is on the right as well. La Ballotta, the white sleeves down the centre, is showing bright speed. Towards the left, Arden in a white jacket is being chased by Beauty Queen. Riversen in the grey silks is just behind the leaders with Blue Zodiac. And then back towards midfield, King of Light. The Man is out on the right in a black cap, a couple of lengths off the pace as they go through halfway. So on the right, it's Tropical Storm in the noseband, who's now moved through to lead from Do It Now. La Ballotta with the white sleeves, then Arden and Mr. Lightside in the noseband, being followed through by King of Light. The Man is further back. Magnum Force in the shades of blue is being finessed into it, but he's going to have to pounce late because Tropical Storm has got first run. Magnum Force is blasting home down the centre. Sayoshi also running on. Tropical Storm, the lead is dwindling. Tropical Storm clings on to lift the roses from Magnum Force, Sayoshi, Mr. Lightside and La Ballotta.
Yeah, no, it's a nice way to break his maiden today, but we've just been learning a bit about him. I mean, we've always liked the look of him, obviously. He just did too much in the Richmond, didn't get home, so the obvious move was to drop back from 5. He's a half-brother to Pure Sangre. He's a decent horse we got, who actually was second in this race last year, so, you know, it's a talented family and it's all about speed.
Do you think he gets 6 in time, or are you happy sticking at 5?
I think we'll stay at 5 for them. You know, there's a nice programme through to the end of the year at 5.
Do you think about the Flying Childers, something like that?
Yeah, that would look the obvious race. I mean, obviously, we've yet to encounter sort of slow ground with him. His brother loves it. I think he'd handle it, but that, and then possibly look at the Breeders' Cup as well.
Yeah, he was super chilled today, Lydia. He didn't grab hold of the bit at all, unlike Goodwood, where I was out of control. He has a fantastic disposition, so it was just one of those days.
Yeah, he's got some really good form at Royal Ascot.
Yeah, he had to be one of the best maidens in the country. I know Inclusively, or whatever it was called, Ed Beffel's horse won a maiden at Nottingham or novice the other day, but this guy had Royal Ascot form, obviously, and his work at home was fantastic, so I'm delighted he put it together. And Lydia, you'll notice at the line he didn't win very far, but I just felt he got idle, actually pulling up. He took hold of the bit again, so very pleased.
In different circumstances, might you see Outstay?
Yeah, I mean, if you saw him in the mornings, you'd have said no problem, but he might be a horse that gets faster as well. As a model, he's quite close coupled and he finds going fast easy.
Thanks.
They're off for the Sky Bet finale. The extended mile and a quarter ahead of them. Chichester was one of the slowest to get out of the stalls, and Chasing Aphrodite in the red and white is the first to break the line. Rathgar in a dark jacket is adopting a handy position as well. Cockalorum in the white and green down on the inner, with Timesius Fox in the blue and white just in behind horses as they begin to sort themselves out into some sort of racing formation. And it's Chasing Aphrodite who gives the lead to Cockalorum up the running rail. From out wide, Killybeck's Warrior in an orange jacket has gone handy, and wider still to Anderleap with the pink sleeves. Rathgar's just in behind the leading line, with Mahaba the champion, a sheepskin noseband, and Have Secret a little bit deeper out. Then Theme Park, who's back towards the inside in the grey and red, with Timesius Fox, the striped sleeves, settling in midfield, racing just in advance of Paradius as they go into the turn with 3/4 of a mile to travel. Sabuska, spot the cheek pieces, white cap down at the running rail, slightly worse than midfield, ahead of stablemate Dual Identity, the red cap. Then Oviedo in the purple and green from Chichester, and Rono and Bystander and Lord Protector is last for the field as Chasing Aphrodite leads them through halfway. So to the top of the straight they come. Chasing Aphrodite, red and white, first one to line up for the judge. To Killybeck's Warrior in the orange, Cockalorum the rail, Anderleap the hoop cap is wide, wider still Mahaba the champion, the noseband, and deepest of all Have Secret. Rathgar in the maroon and blue is being ridden along. Timesius Fox is making progress for Asheen Murphy. Blue and white on the sleeves, will need a bit of a charm run from there. Theme Park's going for a run up the rail. Dual Identity's trying to thread through from the rear with Paradius. Out on the extreme left, Oviedo is getting into it. Inside the last 2 furlongs, and any number of chances here. Have Secret, red and light blue on the sleeves coming through, tightened up Mahaba the champ. Still there under the rail, Chasing Aphrodite. Cockalorum, here's Sabuska the white cap. Dual Identity, the red cap over the top. The stablemates now moving on together. Sabuska and Dual Identity will fight out the finish. And up the line, it is Sabuska who wins the Sky Bet finale from Dual Identity disputing second with Chasing Aphrodite. Then Cockalaw and Rono and Half Secret right in behind with Bystander out wide gaining late on.
This is unbelievable, like emotional, but there's just the fact there was that. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
So it's that way round. It was so good as well because Sabuska certainly lost an eye in Dubai last year, and on the World Cup night he ran a reasonable race and he got something in his eye, and you see he's got a bit of red in one of his eyes. He nearly lost it. And last autumn when he was racing, he came back, but he had so much box rest. He lost a lot of condition, and he didn't run great. And everyone thought, oh, Sabuski's not the same horse, and he ran on the all-weather, but all the races that didn't finish, they don't go quick enough in front and everything. But he ran a really good race at Goodwood last month. He thought, I'd be lovely to run him in a handicap back here where he loves so much. He was second here during COVID. He won the York Stakes. He's third to Baaid, which is an incredible day. And just coming back here, and we feel really bad for Dual Identity, who we've beaten, but he had to come here as well. And I just can't believe William Knight, what a job him and his team have done. He's having such a great season, but I'm so pleased for all the syndicate members, and I'm so pleased for Sabuska. He's such a legend, and I think everyone else loves him too.